Hi guys, welcome back to Toon Talk. This is the betrayal of Newcastle, part 5. Now we're going to have a better look at the Premier League's letter, and these are going to be some questions that need answers. I'm going to ask you, Granda, the questions.
Well, the following questions have come to light. First of all, how did the Daily Mail know the content of the letter before the supporters? Yet another example of the Premier League's contempt for Newcastle. Secondly, did the other Premier League clubs lobby the Premier League committee? If so, why was this allowed? And did they have any influence? I know they say they didn't, but if you're lobbied, you take notice. 2. Why did it take from the early April to June from the Premier League to ask who had control of the club, despite them saying that there was no red flags, and also that the ODT would be passed. So, as I say, it's again contempt for the supporters. And then fourthly, why did the Premier League not accept the assurances of the Saudi Royal Court that the Saudi government were separate entities to the PIF? This will have been seen as a public insult and an attempt to humiliate the Saudis, so the Premier League asking for more information or arbitration would not come into it. Most and cronies had better watch out insulting the Saudi royal family. This is a no-no. They will have the Mabahith. It's the Saudi Secret Service after them.
Yeah, guys, I don't think we're going to get any more comments from the Premier League, but I think the MPs will put more pressure on the Premier League, and plus the Supporters Trust, the NUST, will have a Zoom meeting. I think it's like a few days with the Premier League on Wednesday, where more questions will be asked. Also, I do think the consortium need to say something.
Yeah, the Premier League will make comments at the meeting on Wednesday, I think. Plus, I don't think the MPs will let this drop after one letter, so I think they'll put more pressure on Masters. However, the consortium do need to make a statement, because this letter is now in the public domain. But I do think they'll wait till after the Wednesday's meeting to see if there's anything more comes out of that.
Granda, there's news of another team of people interested in looking at buying Newcastle. This is the Singapore lot, but if it will take months to happen, even if they get the go-ahead from Ashley.
Well, the Singapore bid may be in the pipeline, and if so may succeed, then the Premier League will rush it through to try to appease the supporters. Plus the 3 degrees, Masters, Hockman and Bush, the Premier League committee, will not see them as a threat to the top 6 cartel because they don't have the funds that the PIF, the Saudis, have.
We may be in the relegation places by then, but do you think the supporters will accept that? Do you think they'll accept these people in and be happy with new owners? Will Masters and his pals get away with it?
One thing that Masters and his cronies need to know is the Geordies will not forgive and forget. If they go on a plane or a train, if they go to a restaurant or a hotel or a pub, there's a good chance you will encounter a Geordie. After all, Geordies are everywhere, and they know their football, so they will certainly recognise Masters. A number of them will give him verbal abuse and embarrass him. 1 or 2 might even give him a slap, which is what I would prefer. Although I suppose we cannot condone violence, but then again, in this case, I would make an exception.
On that note, we will finish, but I will leave you with a couple of thoughts. Firstly, a load of Geordies and Saudis after him. Well, Masters will be worried. He will have to lockdown for the next 20 years. Secondly, after City and United's defeats at the weekend, the Premier League is not as good as they think it is. Is the bubble about to burst?